Hi everybody and welcome back to Kevin's Upfront Opinion today. So, Sunday and I've had my youngest niece, my little princess, over all weekend. So I've had her over since Friday, just taken her back home to her mother. Okay, and you know it was actually quite nice having her over with all the other kids and everything. So six kids here all week. Well, actually it was more than that at one stage because I had my stepdaughter here as well, plus her son. So that puts it up to 8 kids at one stage. So it's always nice having all the kids over and everything. And my youngest niece is 13. Okay, and she was asking me some questions. Okay, mainly because she's been going for a hard time and everything. And she was asking me about one of my kids. Okay. Child that I'd not had anything to do with or anything. And she said to me, she asked me a question. She said, do parents have favourite children's or children? I thought, right, I'm going to get myself in a lot of trouble here. Because the reality is, and I've done a video about this in the past, whether they want to admit it, all parents have favourite kids. They do. Trust me, they do. They may deny it, but they do. Men, it's always the girls. Always is. They may want sons, but what they truly want is daughters, because men tend to be closer to their daughters. And then she asked me a question, but what about favourite nieces? I thought, right, now I'm going to get myself in serious shit. I'm getting a lot of trouble now, because technically my sister's got 2 daughters. Okay, Madison and Louisa. My brother hasn't got any daughters. And then obviously marrying into my wife's family, there's Chloe, it's 5 more to count up. So the question is, have I always had a favourite niece? And as much as this would get me in a lot of trouble, trust me, it would get me in so much trouble to admit to it. And I did actually admit to it. And I said, yeah, I am guilty of that. Always had one favourite niece. Okay. Even though I don't spend a lot of time with her nowadays, not really spent a lot of time with her in last decade. And that was mainly because I went off the rails. I severely went off the rails. So it's actually longer than that. Probably looking at since about 2008, 2009, roughly. I haven't spent a lot of time with her. But when she was younger, I spent an awful lot of time. I was with her nearly every single day. And that's my niece Madison. And she's a pretty little girl. She really is. I absolutely used to adore my niece Madison. I used to go around her house every day, or near enough every day, unless I was at work. And I'd go around her house. I'd go up into her bedroom, and this isn't one of them sleazy things or anything. And I'd sit on her bed with her, or lay on her bed with her. She was only young at the time. She's probably about 5, something like that. And I'd watch that awful programme, that bloody High School Musical. And I'd have to watch it every goddamn day. I used to hate High School Musical with a vengeance. The amount of times I saw the second one at one stage, I knew the script. I could have done Zac Efron's job. Save Disney paying him millions of pounds or however how much money he got. I could have done the job. I knew the script that well because I saw it so many times. You know, so a lot of people, it's not the type of thing they're going to actually admit to, but I can easily admit to it. But if I was actually to say, do I have a favourite niece? You know, my favourite niece was always my niece Madison. And I always adored her. You know, in my eyes, she could never do anything wrong. You know, to be honest, nowadays, she probably still couldn't do anything wrong in my eyes. Maybe because that's favoritism at the end. Well, it is favoritism at the end. But how many more people could admit to it? Could you admit whether you have a favourite? So let us know in the comments down below if you think that you'd be brave enough to admit if you've got a favourite niece or nephew. So let us know in the comments down below. But for now, thanks for watching. And obviously, if you are new to the channel, if you could please subscribe as well, I would appreciate it.